Hello. As you could tell, the vlog came out on time. I was able to get it done. But I'm prefacing with that because I want to go into the day that I had today. So I went to bed around my usual time last night, and then I got up, woken up rather, around 7. Not unusual for a weekday. Fell back to sleep around, we'll say, 7:30. Woke back up at 8. Stayed up for a little bit. Fell back to sleep around 10. Got up around 11. Went out with Mom. Went to the butcher's. We went to Aldi's. We went to Dollar Tree, and we went to Lowe's. Got a bunch of stuff that we needed from around there. Came home, crashed again for a few hours. I've been up since I want to say like 6, maybe 5:30, and now it's just after midnight, and I'm ready for bed. Now this is a bit early for me because I don't normally go to bed quite so soon after midnight. It's just after 12:15, but I'm just tired, man. And I mean, I was able to get the vlog done and scheduled and everything, so it'll still be out. But I don't know what is causing me to be this tired. I wonder if it's the cold weather, but I don't actually know. And that's very concerning. So I'm gonna have to just continue on it, trying to keep my energy up and pray that I don't get too exhausted in the coming days as it stays cold and it's supposed to snow again on Friday. So, as you recall, there was a lot of snow. More snow than I was prepared for. And so I had to, deal with that. I will tell you this. Over the course of today, I obviously did stuff around the house I usually do on my days off. I very rarely get to, have a day off to myself to just do what I want to do. It's fine. Annoying, but fine. What I did do was go outside and throw down a bunch of extra rock salt. I gave 2 or 3 layers across our entire pathing property in the driveway because it's supposed to snow again tomorrow. Which is concerning because it's kind of crappy out, to be blunt. And so having more snow on the way is doubling down on madness. You know what, I shouldn't say madness, but it's definitely frustrating and annoying. One other thing I did was I went through the DS games and I backed up a couple of them because Olivia had asked to play on one of the DS's and said, hey, I want to play this game. And then I was thinking about it, and I was like, wait, if she's going to be playing on the DS, which is first in a while for her, why don't I set it up and dump a couple of the games, and that she can just have them on there. So that's what I did. It took me longer than it should have, but it eventually got done. And to be frank, having all of, or at least a chunk of the games that you are going to play regularly, just always there is very nice. And I wish that newer games weren't so big so that it was easier to do that. PS5 games are huge, for example. So I'm constantly having to play Tetris with the storage, so yeesh. Anyway, I don't really have a ton to go on because of that. My day off is not really a day off. So I'm gonna call it here and start heading to bed here soon because I do have work in the morning. Also, I learned this DS is having problems and many of my SD cards are also having issues. So I'm gonna have to deal with that at some point. Hello, and welcome to Friday. So, I mentioned yesterday that it's gonna be snowing, and snow it is. Snow it is. But that's not what I'm here to talk about. I'm here to talk specifically about getting rid of snow. That was a fly. So, as part of the rules of our township, we are left in charge of clearing our sidewalk in front of our house, in front of our property specifically. And for the last 4 years since we moved in here, someone has been doing it for us. And as of today, I think I know who it is. Directly across from us, you can see that house. And in that house lives a couple. Their names are Sam and Adam. And Sam and Adam, our neighbors across the street, they're very nice people. So there was a part of me that kind of suspected them to be the ones. But what really drove it home was when I was out there shoveling, because it is a good... Anybody who's been in snow knows that it sometimes can be beneficial to do a quick shovel along some of your stuff to make sure it doesn't get too difficult when it's over. So I was in the middle of trying to do that, and Sam sees me doing that, and she comes out. I'm like, oh, what's she up to? That wasn't really. I was more focused on trying to do what I'm doing. Figured she was gonna take care of hers. But then she opens her garage, grabs a thing, and starts coming to me. They have a snowblower. And she comes over to me, and she kind of just does our entire strip of sidewalk. There's a part of me that thinks that she's just having fun with the snowblower. But at the same time, it is very much appreciated that she was willing to come and do our stuff. Very much appreciated. Saves a lot of time, saves a lot of headache. And I would like to repay her for her kindness at some point. I don't know how yet, but that is something I would like to do. But that is a 4-year-old mystery solved. I'm almost done exporting another one of the Persona pods. That's not what I want to tell you about. I want to tell you about this. That mess of a spreadsheet is an idea I had. Now, obviously, I have, I'm online a lot. And so I've watched other streamers, and there's one that I really enjoy their stuff. And I'm on their Discord, and their Discord gets people together, whoever's watching live, and they play bingo based on different events that can happen during stream. So, I asked permission, and I made a copy of the spreadsheet that they use. And I changed it up a bit to give different objectives of what could happen during streams of mine. For example, I have a tab down here for Xenoblade 2. And a list of things that could happen during a Xenoblade 2 stream. And then I can go here to the yellow bingo card generator and have a bingo card made. Now, what does this mean? Basically, the idea is it gives people something to do while they're watching so that they're not just staring into space while I'm playing a game. For example, you could be looking out for me casually mentioning a spoiler, or look, or me blaming the game for something that is definitely my fault, and stuff like that. Basically, trying to like keep people engaged, which is basically the end goal. And the plan right now is, once I implement it, whoever is the winner of bingo for that particular stream will I'll give them a shout out. I will have their name displayed on the stream layout, and ideally I do have a few other things that I would like to do for bingo winners, but for now they're long shots because I have not enough money for some of these ideas. But I have ideas. But I put that together, and I've been like brainstorming ideas for different bingo squares that could come up. Like I have one that is very much a crapshoot, probably going to be a dead square for a bit. But for summoning the 1 in 1000 in Xenoblade 2, for summoning a generic rare blade, for taking fall damage, for falling into the void, for going swimming in the Cloudsea, stuff like that. Basically just, hey, this is a thing that happened on stream. Enough of these things will be your bingo calls. And the few people that I've like brought it up to have thought it was a good idea. So I'm gonna try to like finalize this first version of it and see if I can get it running fairly soon. Definitely will not be around for Pokemon. Especially because we're almost done with Pokemon. But I'll try to get it going for the game that's whatever game I play after Pokemon. Anyway, for now, it is not quite midnight, but I am getting tired, so I might start heading to bed soon. Especially now that I've spent a good while staring at that spreadsheet and reading. But I have stuff together, and it's looking to be fun. So I'm looking forward to getting back into streaming. So I was taking the garbage out at work, right? And I just see this. This is one of the parking barriers. How the hell did they get it like this? I don't understand, people. I think it is safe to say that I need to clean my desk. There's a lot going on here. It's not perfect, but it's definitely a lot better. One of the things that I tend to do is I just let things pile up, and you'll see that best in my bedroom whenever I come in there. I'm really bad about keeping up with cleaning, so not great. But every once in a while I'm like, okay, it's time, gotta clean, can't put it off anymore. So that's what I did. And like I said, not perfect, but it's definitely a lot better than it was. Anyway, the only other thing that happened today was work, so I can't really talk to you much about it. Today, we finished Pokemon. And honestly, it was a good game. Scarlet and Violet, the base game, was pretty good. But on top of that, the DLC was very good. Like, looking through what we have on the Switch here, right? We have Legends Arceus, Let's Go Eevee, Scarlet and Violet, Brilliant Diamond Shining Pearl, Sword and Shield, right? But out of all of those, I would say that Scarlet and Violet is probably the best. Granted, it still had some issues. Like, especially with, a lot of people had glitches. In my playthrough, never really had much. My biggest gripe is that Terapagos, the Pokemon that you catch at the end of the second DLC, doesn't show up, is barely mentioned at all. And like, I guess, but like, people aren't gonna know about it, but at the same time, if this is the thing that you're calling the namesake of your DLC, you definitely want to you definitely want it to be a little bit more present. But that's fine. They could do what they want. What I will say is that the gameplay was great. All the improvements from Legends Arceus were great. Playing with friends was fun. I wish you could do co-op and not just kind of exist with each other like that. Would make it just a little bit better. But ultimately, it was a very fun time. All in all, I would definitely recommend it. Especially if someone is just getting into the series. It has a lot of the elements of the old games, while also like letting the new stuff breathe. And I think I will continue to play it. I'm definitely going to go back and try to capture all of the legendaries, because I did hear that there are other legendaries. So, I'm going to do that. And now talking with Lucas, there's a, they don't have a set date on it yet, but they will probably be closing Pokemon Bank at some point. So I definitely want to, continue doing the catch-em-all stuff. So what I'm thinking of doing is playing through all of the games and then worrying about the YouTube releases later. So that is something that I'm going to think about here in the future. And by the time I get back to Scarlet and Violet and that, I should have a lot of things already. But it'll be a very different experience playing it alone. So I'll have to come back to you when I get to that point. Anyway, overall, I would give the game a good 8 out of 10. It was pretty solid. What you doing there, buddy? Oh, please be careful. Please do not do that. Milo, come on. This became available, so I'm gonna deal with this today. And they're done. Honestly, having my taxes filed early is something I try to do every year, because the sooner I get them done, the sooner I get my return back. So honestly, same as always, it's, a big good job, me, for actually sticking to your guns and getting this done. It didn't take terribly long, it never does. I did get started on later than I wanted to, but it's fine. But, because it is the end of the week, I would like to thank you all for watching. Hope you had yourself a damn good one, and I will see you next week.